Many thanks for watching Still Breakfast. And so let's take you to Gambia now, where the supporters of the losing presidential candidate Ousainou Darboe, who took to the streets outside the capital of Banjul to contest the re-election of President Adama Barrow, have been dispersed by police tear gas. Now, hundreds of protesters had gathered in the community of Serekunda, that's 12 kilometers from Banjul, the day after Darboe and other two candidates said they would not accept Barrow's resounding win in Saturday's peaceful voting of the elections there.
Here's what Ousainou Darboe said about the outcome of the election.
Now we have gone through the elections. We are not happy with the results. But not being happy with the result doesn't mean that we have to adopt measures that run contrary to the law. The laws of the Gambia have provided us the remedies that we could avail ourselves. And those remedies we must pursue.
All right, you just heard that from Ousainou Darboe talking about him taking legal action to contest the election results. Now, a statement made by the police urged all Gambians to remain calm as any form of post-electoral violence will jeopardize its legacy for tolerance, maturity, and peacefulness.
Meanwhile, Gambia's newly re-elected President Adama Barrow says his government plans to draft a new constitution that would introduce presidential term limits, but fell short of saying whether he personally would seek additional mandates himself. And in his first news conference since the election, Barrow said that in addition to the imposing term limits, a new constitution would restructure the polling process to include potential runoff polls if no candidate wins 50% of the votes.
I assure you and the whole world and all Gambians that we will have a new constitution and we will have term limit and absolute majority will be the constitution. As I said before the elections, I will still continue with infrastructural development. As I said, no infrastructure, no development. If you are a Gambian, it is everybody's responsibility to contribute to national development. You are not working for Adama Barrow. Nobody is working for me. We are working for this country. That's why even in these elections, I don't think there is a loser. We are all winners because it's the Gambia that is important. So we'll do everything possible to bring the people together to make sure we develop this country.
All right, so there you have it, re-elected Gambian President Adama Barrow. Quite some interesting comments he's made there. You're not working for Adama Barrow, you're working for the Gambia.
Country, yes. And he has come out to say he's still coming back to refocus on the same objective he had even while he was the president, talking about infrastructural development. He said, no, if you do not develop the infrastructure in the country, there will not be development.
Yeah, a development apart, what many people around Africa would really pick up on his comments recently is about this term limits to being in president or being in power, but didn't really say if himself,
if it will take effect in his tenure.
Yeah, and he wants to change the constitution. So this might really raise a couple of eyebrows. And just when they had the likes of Ousainou Darboe and other opposition people still protesting, trying to contest this election, saying they do not accept it. Well,
a lot of them have come out to say, the opposition party now, they've come out to talk about the discrepancy or the disparity in terms of the number of registered voters vis-a-vis the high voter turnout in some areas. Now they've come out to say the numbers do not add up. If, for example, you have 10 people who registered to vote in this polling unit, and at the end of the day we are seeing 15, for example, it doesn't just add up.
Well, the process of the voting was largely held as peaceful, fair, on Saturday as it happened. It's a small country, just under 2 million population. So you want to ask,
with less than 1 million that registered for the election to vote, actually.
Just about 900,000 plus. Right. There will also follow in the Gambia, especially looks like since Adama Barrow has been re-elected, perhaps the end of the discourse about Yahya Jammeh, who was the long-term leader of the country, and maybe explains why he's trying to now put in term limits in terms of people who can stay in power. What they say about sit-tight rule in Africa.
We know this is not the end of this particular story, but as it keeps developing, we'll bring it in subsequent bulletins.